Psalm 136 says, "Give thanks to Adonai, for he is good. His grace continues forever. Give thanks to the God of gods, for his grace continues forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords, for his grace continues forever." And the rest of Psalm 36 goes on to talk about ways in which humanity can give thanks. Now, this is a real risk, because what's going on is I am shooting this on Monday, and on Thursday is going to be Thanksgiving. So the question ends up being, when I take what I have shot, and you can typically tell when I have shot multiple videos at one time, because the same sweater is worn, the same shirt is worn, the same lighting is in the background, the whole game. But typically when I do this, there's multiple videos, and I don't get them all edited all at once. So the question ends up being, will I remember to get this home tonight, edit it, and make so that it is released on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving? And some people will look at this and say, well, Thanksgiving is a great holiday where people can get together and they can feast and they can enjoy the goodness that has happened in terms of being in a country that has great relative freedom and has great economic sustenance, and where we can end up having a feast with those we love. Others will say, isn't every day a reasonable day to give God thanks? Why do we have to have a single specific day called Thanksgiving? Don't we give praise and thanks to God for what we have on each and every day that we exist? And I can actually see the virtue in both of those arguments. But honestly, in the United States, the reason that we have Thanksgiving is because, going back to a very difficult and a very hard time in our country, it was recognized that just as in Scripture there was a festival of Sukkot, a festival of ingathering, a festival of harvest, that so too the national character of the United States of America would be improved by having a day of gratitude and a day of thanks to God. Now, I'm not sure in our generation whether a day of thanks to God would be established in this time, or whether this would be considered not adequately politically correct. And I've also noticed that there are people who are politically very religious who think that invoking a creator or invoking an eternal being is just bad form. And I've also noticed that in terms of immigration and other things going on, that this country is less united on who an eternal creator or who God would be. There's much competition for the position of who God really is. But I am hoping that whether you are a person who believes that thanks should be brought to God every day and that no day is above another, or if you're a person who is pulling a turkey out of the oven and who is gathering together with those whom you love and who has either traveled a distance or is having people travel to you for the purpose of being grateful to God, that however this works, that this is going to be good, that this is going to be fruitful, that this is going to be effective, and that we are, despite the sorrows that we sometimes encounter, despite the longings that we have that have not yet been met, that in this American reflection of the biblical feast of Sukkot, which is the Feast of Tabernacles, that this Thanksgiving Day will be a day where it's 1 out of 364 that you say this, or whether it is a special and set-apart feast for this purpose, you will look and go, God really has blessed me. I am grateful to God for what he has done. And I believe that God himself has great love for me. Shalom, and may the thanks of your heart raise up to his throne room.